Can you explain what you've been working on in class?
So in class, we're basically doing something called the Passion Project, also called Genius Hour. So it's basically where you find something that you're passionate about, and then you just research it and find answers to questions that you have. And then at the end, you have to decide how you can share it.
Cool. So what did you choose to do for your project?
So my driving question was, what factors influence somebody's intelligence?
And how'd you come up with that topic?
Well, it's kind of derived off my curiosity, because when you look around the classroom and you look at some other people doing better in school and academically than others, it kind of dawns to you, what is it that makes other people different in terms of how smart they are.
So you were wondering about the factors
Yeah,
and
I'm wondering about what makes it.
And what did you find?
I found that it's kind of like a two-way tie between, it's kind of like an equation,
Yeah.
I guess. There's one part that's nature,
Yeah.
another that's nurture.
Yeah.
Nature is basically your genetics and like what you get from your parents.
Yeah.
Nurture, on the other hand, is basically how you change throughout.
Yeah.
And then there's also like character traits and things that happen throughout your life that can impact your intelligence.
And how'd you find out that information?
Research through a computer, I guess, Google searches.
And what were the things you were thinking about as you were researching? How did you know what sources may be good and what may not be good?
Well, it kind of takes a little bit of background information before you begin researching, so I kind of just started out asking Google what factors influence intelligence, and then went in depth with what I found out generally, and then went even more in depth from what I found out there, and eventually I found my answers.
Did you seek out any experts along the way, or?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, you're just using sources online. What are you going to do with your findings?
I'm going to share it, and my plan is to make an article, which I am working on right now, and publish it in the school magazines, the Crossroad magazine.
And why do you think we might want to know about this information?
Mainly because I think what I'm researching is very good for like a school kind of environment, since it's about academic success and what leads to it. And that would be a good way to do it, because people who are reading that are normally educators or sometimes students or parents who are reading in the office. And they'll probably be kind of people who would be curious about this kind of topic.
Yeah, so you thought about who might want to hear about this. What did anything surprise you along the way?
Not really, but what did surprise me that kind of taught a lesson to me is how you have to be really responsible with your time. And
so it wasn't necessarily something in the research that you found that was surprising. It was something that you're learning through this process.
Out of it that I can apply to later projects that I do.
Oh, that's good. Would you? Was there anything where you felt like there was an obstacle and it was a dead end at any point, or?
Yeah, it does, because a lot of the time when you're researching, if you're trying to find a very like general topic from the very beginning and you don't know anything about it, you kind of get the same exact answers. And when you're researching, you may not find very credible sources as well. And some people who don't really know exactly what they're saying.
So you had to really rethink at some points along the way. Would you recommend this kind of project in the future for future kids?
I would definitely recommend it for people all ages, because I know that students have stuff that they want to learn about.
Yeah.
And school, sometimes it gets a little boring because you're tugged along by like your teachers and like what you're supposed to do. So along with that, it's also a really good idea for you to practice your skills that you've been learning in class, but at the same time practice it in a way that you're like having fun because you're learning something that you want to learn.
Awesome. Thanks, Sanjit.
Thank you.
Sajid.